Ahem. Yahoo! Back in the day, Toad's voice used to be like, woohoo! Meanwhile, nowadays it's like, wah! Either way, the woke video really bored me because I had to do a lot of research, and searching for the woke games themselves is really hard. So yeah, I'm delaying this video until next time. So right now I'll release a much lighter video about, Mario Party. I know what Mario Party is. I saw the birth of Mario Party back in 1999. So might as well take my time and talk about every single Mario Party ever. Also, I'm too lazy for an actual script, so let's go. Before anyone asks, no, Mario Party is not the only non-licensed board game. There were a bunch of board games back in the 90s, but they mostly stayed in Japan, including Mario's own Itagaki Street. But while the Super Famicom had a lot of video games, the Nintendo 64 did not have that many. So because of that, Nintendo had to pace its titles very cautiously, and also had to cancel a lot of things due to the Nintendo 64's failings, at least in Japan. So Nintendo risked it all and localized every Mario Party on the Nintendo 64. Was it a bit of a risk? Yes. Did it pay off? Also yes. You also have to consider that Hudson Soft's titles didn't exactly do well in the United States. At least to the point where Hudson stopped publishing games themselves in the United States. So how is Mario Party 1? It's Hudson, so you know what? It's hard! Well, the board game itself is really accessible to anyone who wants to play it. And its very simplistic control scheme allows anyone to play it. The CPUs are hard, and also the game itself is not really all that well balanced. I say it's pretty much the hardest Mario Party game ever made. Do I still think it is fun? Yes, really a lot. It's just that unlocking things and finding ways around the board in order to get any stars is kind of hard. Despite that, there are plenty of unlockables that really shine, and very interesting idea that uses the Nintendo 64 in very interesting ways. So yeah, if you can get around that, Mario Party 1 is really worth all of your pennies. Or should I say, coins. Still, what I think is very funny is that SEGA saw the success that Mario Party had, and contacted Sunsoft in order to make Sonic Shuffle. And somehow Sonic Shuffle comes off as a lot harder. But it also has a lot of unlockables which are very interesting, so I'd still recommend it. Maybe if you pirate it. But the thing is that while Mario Party 1 barely has any story, Sonic Shuffle has a really big story with a lot of complicated issues. Its CD format also allows for much more elaborated music, as well as a lot of voice acting. Either way, Mario Party really sold well, and the developers had to make another one next year. So they decided to focus on the elements that actually mattered, the difficulty and the balance. It is why I love Mario Party 2 a lot. Not only is it less frustrating, but it also has a lot more interesting minigames, while every board has a different theme, and everyone wears a lot of different costumes, which are very interesting to look at. I absolutely love the boards too, which are very memorable for the time. And the fact that two of these boards appeared in Mario Party Superstars also were a nice surprise. But we're not here yet, we don't know that yet. Either way, I absolutely love Mario Party 2, and it's probably one of the Mario Parties I've played the most. It's balanced and not too hard, you can still unlock quite a few things, and it's really interesting to play. The only thing thing is that it contains some minigames from Mario Party 1, but at least they're more balanced. It's pretty much why Nintendo Power even themselves really love Mario Party 2, and why the game is important to this day. However, I would go ahead and say that my favorite on the Nintendo 64 is Mario Party 3. While some of the boards are gimmicky and some of the minigames are a bit tired, Mario Party has a very full-fledged story mode that's actually well written and actually hilarious. Like legit, some of these lines are funny as heck. And there are also the dual boards, which I really like because it gives a challenge with some really cool ideas and neat board designs. Like in this one, you do not only get normal boards, but you also get dual boards. So yeah, that's a lot of content for people who really want to play a lot of Mario Party. The only thing is that beating story mode mostly relies on luck, although you can change the difficulty levels to suit your need. Either way, I absolutely love Mario Party 3, and it rocks. We need to talk about Mario Party 4. Mario Party 4 had this really cool flash game up on their website with some really nice minigames, as well as a lot of promotional material in order to make the players hyped for the actual game. And let's just say that it actually worked. I was really hyped for Mario Party 4 because I didn't have it at launch, and it was nothing but disappointment. Mario Party 4's boards look really forgettable, and even more so compared to a lot of other games. The FMV cutscenes, only allowed by the GameCube, only look weirder than any Tekken game. While the minigames are fine enough and the bonus games are kinda neat, but not really that much. There just isn't as much content as Mario Party 3. And I think the game itself is very basic, with the Mega and Mini mushrooms being kind of a tired gimmick after a while. Mario Party deserved better, which is why we got Mario Party 5. Mario Party 5 uses a new capsule system, which isn't really all that well balanced. But you know what? I'd rather have that than Mega and Mini mushrooms. At the very least, there is a lot of strategy involving how to use the capsules. The capsules themselves are free, but using them on yourself is quite a lot costly. The boards themselves really look natural. It has that sense of adventure and playfulness that the other Mario parties did on the Nintendo 64. Bonus games such as Kart Party are appreciated but not really that noteworthy. However, what is noteworthy, I think, is the Super Duel mode. Basically, the more minigames you play, the more points you get. The more points you get, the more you can buy parts for your vehicle and compete in tournaments with these vehicles actually. It's a really fun and engaging mode that encourages players to play the game even more. Easy recommendation, even though the controls themselves are super clunky. After that there was Mario Party Advance, which I think is a lovely adventure game with a lot of interesting side quests, but I already talked about that in my GBA video, so watch it! Mario Party 6, meanwhile, was really fun to play. The developers decided to reuse the day-night cycle from Mario Party 2, but for every board in the same game. And even for some minigames, not all of them, but that's still a win. So I think Mario Party 6 is one of the most fun Mario Party games on the GameCube. The gameplay mechanics, the minigames, everything just works out. I also have to give a shout out to one of my favorite Mario Party minigames of all time, Lift Leapers. During 2004 there weren't really that many 2D games on the system, so this minigame absolutely filled the void. It's a super challenging 2D platformer with a lot of love and passion. There were also some microphone minigames, but we don't really talk about those. They're just there, staring menacingly. Either way, I love Mario Party 6. As for Mario Party 7, it introduced a lot of gimmicks and ideas. It's just not really the ones I love the most. I like them, they're there, but that's literally it. It also didn't help that there was this general Mario Party fatigue. Playing essentially the same formula for 7 years in a row can really get tiresome. And unlike Mega Man Battle Network, for example, there's no story to push you forward. In 2005, I may not have liked the game very much, but in 2023, actually I really like its gimmicks. Every area has a really different vibe, and the way the capsules are used feels much more elaborated. The microphone minigames are fine, I guess. Well, I haven't really played any 8-player minigames. That's right, before Smash introduced 8-player combat, that is literally what Mario Party 7 did. So yeah, I feel like people have not appreciated Mario Party 7 enough in its time, but right now some people really like it, so good enough! After that, we got our victory. There was no Mario Party in 2006! Yeah! Finally, Awesome Stuff could take its time to make a really good Mario Party. And so Mario Party 8 happened. Yep, it sure did happen. I bought this one at launch and was very disappointed. The minigames weren't engaging, although they used motion controls. The boards themselves aren't really that great, while the items are just there. They're basically capsules, but a lot more boring. And there is a very normal story mode, which just doesn't do anything interesting. But there still are some very cool extras. It's just that at that point I didn't exactly care. I just gave up. So I started renting Mario Party DS, and wow, I absolutely love this game! Probably my favorite Mario Party since the Nintendo 64 ones. Its story mode is mostly reliant on luck, but it is very interesting to see all of the bosses come up. The minigames also use very well the touchscreen as well as the microphone. There's also the download play aspect of this one, as you can play with friends as much as you want, although there are load times in between each turn. The game also has X's, which are like capsules, but better paced, surprisingly. At least I think so. Another surprising addition is that it has all of the puzzle minigames from every other Mario Party, which I personally think are very addictive and interesting, and I could potentially see them as their own puzzle games. Granted, with a story mode like Puyo Puyo. Either way, Mario Party DS was the last Mario Party game made by Hudson Soft. I do not know what happened between Hudson Soft and Nintendo, but I feel like there was a bit of a fatigue in making the same game over and over again. So Hudson Soft started getting super experimental on the Wii, which I think might have caused their demise. Maybe I'll talk about Hudson Soft some other time, but right now we need to talk about Mario Party 9. I talked about it a little bit in my previous video about the Wii U, but after 5 years Mario Party 9 finally came to fruition, and it was not the usual formula. It feels more like an adventure where you're all in one cart, and you need to collect mini stars and defeat bosses together. Yes, there are finally some bosses in this game, and honestly I love them. It might not be able to top the original formula, but this game is actually pretty fun, I think. And after Mario Party 8, I really needed this one. It even has a bit of a higher frame rate. But yeah, then there was Mario Party Island Tour, then there were a bunch of 3DS games I didn't really care about. Then there was Mario Party 10, which I already talked about in a previous video about the Wii U, also go watch this one. So the thing is that while I was pleased with these Mario Parties, the rest of the Nintendo fandom was mad. We need the real Mario Party, the one with the capitalism. So that is pretty much what Super Mario Party did, but on a smaller scale, and with only Joy-Cons. I absolutely love the way this game uses the Nintendo Switch controllers. Like, it is legit innovative and interesting to play, and some of the modes are really fun. It's just that, you know, Joy-Con drift. Now all I have is one Joy-Con. Thanks, Nintendo. It still was a pretty good game to play, and definitely a step up from the last Mario Parties of these last 10 years. Too bad the actual game boards are kind of small. Which is where Mario Party Superstars comes in. You don't even have to play it with a Joy-Con. Mario Party Superstars is basically everything that's great about Mario Party and everything that's awful, but you know what, whatever. It is legit fun to play. And while it does not do anything new with the Nintendo Switch console, I still really like this one. I just wish it had more DLC boards as well as other stuff. Unlockable characters, maybe? But then again, look at these graphics. These are peak Nintendo Switch graphics. So yeah, as someone who played the original back in 1999, I approve of this game, even though it has flaws. Wait, this is the end of the video. Yay, the video is over. You can all go home now. Please like and subscribe before you do. You can even comment. So yeah, thank you for watching, have fun, and bye-bye!